Welcome fellow gamers to my channel, The Cognitive Gamers. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey into the psyche of Grand Theft Auto V, exploring the intricate minds of its three main protagonists. Please like, share, and comment as we bring similar videos diving into the neurological depths of captivating titles like The Last of Us Part 1, BioShock, and Ghost of Tsushima. Now, it's time to unravel the psychological complexities behind the criminal underworld of Los Santos. So buckle up, and let's delve into the minds of GTA V's main characters like never before. Abstract. In the vast and immersive world of Grand Theft Auto V, players are introduced to a trio of protagonists, each with their unique personalities, backgrounds, and motivations. This analytical essay aims to delve into the psychological profiles of the game's main characters, Michael DeSanta, Franklin Clinton, and Trevor Philips. By comprehensively examining their individual traits, behaviors, and interactions, we seek to uncover the underlying psychological factors that drive their actions within the game's narrative. The first protagonist under scrutiny is Michael DeSanta, a middle-aged former bank robber living in witness protection. A complex interplay of narcissism, midlife crisis, and inner turmoil characterizes Michael's character. Analysis reveals his narcissistic tendencies as a coping mechanism for unresolved childhood trauma, while his midlife crisis underscores existential concerns and longing for his past life of excitement and danger. Despite his criminal past, Michael grapples with guilt and remorse, highlighting the internal conflict between his desire for redemption and his criminal persona. Next, we turn our attention to Franklin Clinton, a young and ambitious gangster seeking to escape poverty and crime. Franklin's character is defined by his resourcefulness, loyalty, and desire for upward mobility. Raised in a disadvantaged environment, Franklin's ambition stems from his survival instincts and a yearning for a better life. His loyalty to those he cares about and his moral dilemmas provide insight into his integrity and empathy, setting him apart from his more morally ambiguous counterparts. Lastly, we examine Trevor Philips, a volatile and psychopathic career criminal operating out of Blaine County. Trevor's character is characterized by his impulsivity, sadism, and paranoia. Analysis reveals his psychopathic tendencies as rooted in childhood trauma or a dysfunctional upbringing, fueling his disregard for societal norms and his penchant for violence. His sadistic behavior and thrill-seeking reflect a need for stimulation and excitement, masking underlying emotional emptiness and dissatisfaction. Throughout the review, we explore the intricate dynamics between the protagonists, analyzing how their contrasting personalities and objectives drive the game's narrative forward. Despite their differences, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor share a common thread of seeking meaning and fulfillment amidst the chaos of their criminal endeavors. By unraveling the psychological complexities of these characters, we gain a deeper understanding of the human condition and the moral dilemmas inherent in the pursuit of power, wealth, and redemption. Introduction. In the sprawling metropolis of Los Santos, a world of crime, chaos, and opportunity awaits. Grand Theft Auto V thrusts players into a vibrant and dynamic sandbox, where the line between morality and mayhem blurs amidst the neon-lit streets and sun-soaked beaches. As one of the most critically acclaimed and commercially successful video games of all time, GTA V captivates players with its gripping narrative, immersive gameplay, and larger-than-life characters. The story unfolds through the eyes of three protagonists, each navigating their own path through the criminal underworld of Los Santos: Michael DeSanta, Franklin Clinton, and Trevor Philips. Michael, a retired bank robber living under witness protection, longs for the adrenaline-fueled days of his past. Franklin, a young and ambitious gangster, seeks to escape the cycle of poverty and violence that plagues his neighborhood. And Trevor, a volatile and unhinged career criminal, revels in chaos and carnage as he operates his methamphetamine empire in the desolate outskirts of Blaine County. Their lives intersect in a tale of betrayal, ambition, and redemption, as they embark on a series of daring heists and dangerous missions that blur the lines between friend and foe. From high-speed pursuits through the bustling streets of downtown Los Santos to tense standoffs in the arid desert of the Grand Sonora Desert, GTA V immerses players in a world teeming with life, danger, and opportunity. But beneath the surface of the game's adrenaline-pumping action lies a rich tapestry of psychological intrigue, as the characters grapple with their own inner demons and moral dilemmas. As players navigate the seedy underbelly of Los Santos, they are confronted with questions of identity, morality, and the nature of power. In this video, we embark on a journey into the minds of GTA 5's main characters, dissecting their psychological profiles and unraveling the motivations driving their actions within the game's immersive narrative. From Michael's midlife crisis to Franklin's quest for upward mobility and Trevor's descent into madness, we explore the complex interplay of personality, trauma, and circumstance that shapes their destinies in the world of GTA 5. So join us as we peel back the layers of intrigue and delve into the minds of Los Santos' most notorious inhabitants. Let's start with Michael DeSanta. Michael DeSanta. Michael DeSanta, born Michael Townley, was once a skilled bank robber operating in the criminal underworld of North Yankton alongside his close friend Trevor Philips and other associates. However, a botched robbery forced Michael to fake his death and enter witness protection, assuming a new identity and relocating to Los Santos. Before his criminal career, Michael likely grew up in a lower middle class or working class environment, possibly in the Midwest or another suburban area. His early life might have been marked by adversity, leading him to pursue a life of crime as a means of escaping his circumstances and attaining wealth and status. Michael's criminal activities during his youth likely provided him with a sense of excitement, adventure, and camaraderie, shaping his identity and worldview. However, the consequences of his actions eventually caught up with him, leading to the traumatic events that forced him into hiding. Upon assuming his new identity as Michael DeSanta, he attempted to leave his criminal past behind and build a new life with his wife, Amanda, and their two children, Tracy and Jimmy. However, despite his outwardly affluent lifestyle in Rockford Hills, Michael found himself disillusioned and unfulfilled, yearning for the adrenaline rush and sense of purpose he once experienced as a bank robber. Michael's discontent with his mundane existence in Los Santos reflects deeper existential angst and unresolved psychological issues. His midlife crisis manifests as a desperate attempt to recapture his lost youth and vitality, leading him to reconnect with his former criminal associates and embark on a series of dangerous heists. Throughout the game, Michael grapples with conflicting desires for redemption and self-gratification, torn between his responsibilities as a husband and father and his longing for excitement and validation. His journey towards self-discovery and reconciliation with his past forms a central narrative arc, highlighting the complexities of identity, morality, and personal transformation. In analyzing Michael's background, it's essential to consider the interplay between his upbringing, his experiences as a criminal, and the challenges of adapting to a conventional lifestyle. These factors contribute to his multidimensional character and provide insight into the motivations driving his actions and decisions throughout the game. Michael DeSanta possesses a complex array of personality traits that contribute to his portrayal as a compelling character within the game's narrative. At his core, Michael exhibits distinct narcissistic tendencies, characterized by a pervasive sense of grandiosity, entitlement, and a lack of empathy. Throughout the game, Michael consistently prioritizes his own desires and ambitions over the well-being of others, often resorting to manipulative tactics to achieve his goals. However, beneath this facade of confidence lies a profound sense of existential discontent and disillusionment with his suburban lifestyle. Michael's midlife crisis serves as a driving force behind his involvement in criminal activities, reflecting a yearning for excitement, validation, and a return to his former life of thrill-seeking escapades. Despite his outward bravado, Michael grapples with deep-seated guilt and remorse over his past actions, particularly concerning his strained relationship with his family. This internal conflict between his criminal persona and his desire for redemption adds layers to his character, highlighting the complexities of morality and identity within the context of the game's narrative. Michael DeSanta presents a complex psychological profile, characterized by a mixture of narcissistic tendencies, midlife crisis, and profound guilt and remorse. His narcissism manifests in his grandiosity, entitlement, and lack of empathy, often prioritizing his own desires and goals over the well-being of others. This may stem from unresolved childhood trauma or a need for validation, as evidenced by his relentless pursuit of recognition and status in the criminal underworld. Additionally, Michael's midlife crisis reflects existential concerns about aging, identity, and purpose, leading him to question his choices and seek meaning through risky behavior. Despite his criminal lifestyle, Michael grapples with deep-seated guilt and remorse over his actions, particularly concerning his strained relationship with his family. This internal conflict highlights the complexity of his moral compass, as he struggles to reconcile his past transgressions with his desire for redemption and a sense of purpose. Overall, Michael's psychological makeup adds depth to his character, contributing to the nuanced portrayal of morality and identity in Grand Theft Auto V. Franklin Clinton. Franklin Clinton is an embodiment of the aspirations and struggles of a young man trying to escape the cycle of poverty and crime in South Los Santos. Born and raised in the tough streets of the city, Franklin's upbringing was marked by adversity and hardship. Growing up in a neighborhood plagued by violence, gang activity, and economic deprivation, Franklin learned early on to navigate the dangers of his environment with street smarts and resilience. Despite the challenges he faced, Franklin harbored dreams of a better life beyond the confines of his impoverished community. Unlike many of his peers who succumbed to the allure of gang life and criminality, Franklin sought a different path, one that promised upward mobility and opportunity. However, limited by his circumstances and lacking viable alternatives, he found himself drawn into the world of crime as a means of survival and advancement. Driven by a desire to escape his bleak reality and carve out a future for himself, Franklin channeled his ambition and resourcefulness into climbing the ranks of the criminal underworld. With a keen understanding of the streets and a knack for hustling, he quickly proved himself to be a valuable asset to those who recognized his potential. Despite his involvement in illicit activities, Franklin maintained a moral compass and a sense of loyalty to those he cared about, distinguishing himself from the more ruthless and morally bankrupt individuals he encountered. Throughout his journey, Franklin grappled with ethical dilemmas and wrestled with questions of right and wrong, often finding himself at odds with the moral ambiguity of his surroundings. Despite his immersion in a world characterized by violence, betrayal, and deception, Franklin remained steadfast in his pursuit of a better life, clinging to the hope that redemption and opportunity awaited him beyond the shadows of his past. As the narrative unfolds, Franklin's character undergoes a transformation, shaped by his experiences and the choices he confronts. Through his interactions with the other protagonists, Michael and Trevor, Franklin is forced to confront his own demons and reconcile his ambitions with his conscience. In navigating the complexities of loyalty, ambition, and morality, Franklin emerges as a complex and multidimensional character, embodying the struggles and aspirations of those seeking to break free from the constraints of their circumstances and forge their own path to redemption. Franklin Clinton embodies a complex mix of traits that define his character and drive his actions throughout the game. Born and raised in the impoverished streets of South Los Santos, Franklin is characterized by his ambition, resourcefulness, and resilience. Despite facing numerous obstacles and temptations, he remains determined to rise above his circumstances and carve out a better life for himself. Franklin's loyalty to his friends and moral compass set him apart from the typical criminal archetype found in the game. He grapples with ethical dilemmas, questioning the consequences of his actions and striving to maintain a sense of integrity amidst the chaos of the criminal underworld. His desire for upward mobility serves as a driving force, motivating his involvement in illicit activities as a means to achieve financial stability and social status. Franklin's character arc reflects themes of ambition, loyalty, and morality, offering a nuanced portrayal of a young man navigating the complexities of life in pursuit of the American dream. Franklin Clinton, the youngest of the trio, presents a multifaceted psychological profile shaped by his upbringing in the gritty streets of South Los Santos. His ambition and resourcefulness, evident in his determination to escape the cycle of poverty and crime, reflect a resilient spirit honed through adversity. Franklin's loyalty to his friends and moral introspection set him apart from the more morally ambiguous characters in the game, suggesting a strong sense of integrity and empathy despite his criminal background. His desire for upward mobility, driven by a longing for a better life and the pursuit of success, mirrors a common theme of socioeconomic aspiration and the quest for the American dream. However, Franklin's journey is also marked by ethical dilemmas and moments of self-reflection as he grapples with the consequences of his actions and questions the morality of his choices. Ultimately, Franklin emerges as a complex character navigating the blurred lines between right and wrong, ambition and morality, in his quest for identity and purpose amidst the chaos of Los Santos' criminal underworld. Trevor Philips. Trevor Philips is perhaps the most enigmatic and volatile of the three protagonists in GTA 5. Born and raised in Canada, Trevor's early life is shrouded in mystery, with only fragments of his past revealed throughout the game. What is clear, however, is that Trevor is a career criminal with a penchant for violence and chaos. From a young age, Trevor exhibited troubling behavior indicative of underlying psychological issues. His adolescence was marked by delinquency, substance abuse, and brushes with the law. These early experiences likely contributed to the development of his volatile temperament and antisocial tendencies. Trevor's criminal career took off in earnest when he relocated to Blaine County, San Andreas, where he established himself as a prominent figure in the local underworld. Operating out of a methamphetamine lab in Sandy Shores, Trevor built a reputation as a ruthless and unpredictable enforcer, feared by rivals and allies alike. Despite his outward bravado and bravura, Trevor's psyche is deeply fractured, plagued by a myriad of unresolved traumas and psychological scars. His propensity for violence and sadism reflects a disturbing fascination with power and control, as well as a deep-seated sense of nihilism and existential despair. One of Trevor's defining characteristics is his profound distrust of others, which borders on paranoia. His erratic behavior and volatile temper make him a liability even to his closest associates, as he is prone to violent outbursts and unpredictable mood swings. Throughout GTA 5, Trevor's actions are driven by a potent cocktail of rage, insecurity, and self-loathing. He harbors deep-seated resentments towards society and craves validation and acceptance, albeit through destructive means. In many ways, Trevor embodies the dark underbelly of the American dream, a cautionary tale of unchecked ambition and moral decay. His story serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked hedonism and the corrosive effects of violence on the human psyche. As players navigate Trevor's tumultuous journey in GTA 5, they are confronted with uncomfortable questions about morality, redemption, and the nature of evil. Despite his reprehensible actions, Trevor remains a compelling and complex character, emblematic of the existential angst that permeates the world of Grand Theft Auto. Trevor Philips possesses a complex and deeply disturbing personality marked by a combination of psychopathic traits, sadism, impulsivity, and paranoia. Trevor's character is defined by his violent and unpredictable behavior, reflecting his lack of empathy, remorse, and regard for societal norms. His psychopathic tendencies are evident in his propensity for aggression, manipulation, and disregard for human life, making him a dangerous and volatile individual. Trevor derives pleasure from inflicting pain and chaos, demonstrating sadistic tendencies and a thrill-seeking nature that drives him to engage in reckless and violent behavior for the sake of excitement and adrenaline. Moreover, his impulsivity and lack of impulse control contribute to his erratic and impulsive decision-making, often leading to destructive outcomes. Trevor's paranoia and distrust of others further exacerbate his volatile temperament, fueling his hostility towards those around him and reinforcing his sense of isolation and alienation. Overall, Trevor's personality is characterized by a complex interplay of psychopathic traits, sadism, impulsivity, and paranoia, making him one of the most enigmatic and unsettling characters in the GTA series. Trevor Philips presents a complex psychological profile characterized by psychopathy, impulsivity, and paranoia. His behavior is marked by a lack of empathy or remorse, with a propensity for violence and reckless behavior. Trevor's upbringing and past experiences likely play a significant role in shaping his personality, with possible trauma or dysfunctional family dynamics contributing to his distorted worldview. His psychopathic tendencies may be rooted in a combination of genetic predisposition and environmental factors, leading to a diminished capacity for empathy and a heightened attraction to risk and excitement. Trevor's sadistic behavior and thrill-seeking tendencies serve as coping mechanisms for underlying emotional emptiness or dissatisfaction, providing him with a temporary escape from his inner turmoil. Additionally, his paranoia and distrust of others further isolate him from society, reinforcing his belief in a hostile and unpredictable world. Overall, Trevor's psychological makeup reflects a deeply troubled individual grappling with unresolved trauma, existential ennui, and a profound disconnect from conventional morality. Conclusion. In conclusion, our exploration into the psychological profiles of Grand Theft Auto V's main characters has provided valuable insight into the complex interplay of personality, trauma, and circumstance that shapes their actions within the game's immersive narrative. From Michael DeSanta's narcissism and midlife crisis to Franklin Clinton's ambition and moral integrity, and finally, to Trevor Philips' psychopathy and paranoia, each character offers a unique lens through which to examine the human condition and the moral dilemmas inherent in the pursuit of power, wealth, and redemption. Through our analysis, we have uncovered the underlying psychological factors driving the protagonists' actions, shedding light on their motivations, desires, and inner conflicts. Michael, Franklin, and Trevor each embody different facets of the human experience, from the existential angst of midlife crisis to the resilience and ambition born out of adversity, and the destructive allure of unchecked hedonism and violence. Despite their differences, the protagonists of GTA 5 share a common thread of seeking meaning and fulfillment amidst the chaos of their criminal endeavors. Their journey is a testament to the complexities of human nature and the blurred lines between right and wrong, good and evil. As players navigate the seedy underbelly of Los Santos alongside Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, they are confronted with uncomfortable truths about the human psyche and the moral consequences of their actions. In unraveling the psychological complexities of GTA 5's main characters, we gain a deeper understanding of the human condition and the universal struggles that define us all. Whether grappling with issues of identity, morality, or existential despair, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor remind us that beneath the facade of criminality lies a profound longing for connection, meaning, and redemption. As we bid farewell to the streets of Los Santos and the characters who inhabit them, let us reflect on the lessons learned and the insights gained from our journey into the psychological underworld of Grand Theft Auto 5. May we carry forward the wisdom gleaned from our exploration and apply it to our own lives, as we navigate the complexities of morality, ambition, and the pursuit of happiness in an ever-changing world. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment to help us grow our channel and motivate us to keep making such videos. Thank you all for watching The Cognitive Gamers.